I'm Zach. This is Sky. And this is the Quick and Dirty. All right, so today we are going to be covering the suitcase deadlift. All right, you're going to see some different mechanics than you usually see with deadlifting, or the deadlift you might be familiar with if you've seen any of our other videos. This one's going to be slightly a bit quad dominant, right? And that's not necessarily what we're always looking for in the deadlift, but today, for the stability aspect and the offset nature of what we're going for, it's definitely the way we're going to want to get set up. So Doc's going to go ahead and give you guys a couple of these front-facing deads, and then I'll give him from a couple from the side, point out some of the stuff that's going on. Then he's really going to get in depth on what is the big benefit with this movement. Doc, you want to go ahead and give him a couple front-facing ones for us? Nice. Go ahead and just give us one more. Good. So now Doc's going to give you guys some side view on this. As you can see, the hips are going back, his back's locked into place, but he's loading the quads a bit more while he's doing this. All right, and that's the big difference that you're going to see with this. Thanks, Doc. You can go ahead and set that down. Same perfect form as he's setting it down. Now, what we're really looking for, guys, is the offset nature of it. We're trying to challenge you. Now, where the bell is, as opposed to where a deadlift bar usually is, or just in a traditional bar out front, that's what's kind of changing the dynamic of this. Usually, we are telling you guys to get back, shins more vertical, load those hamstrings. You've seen our videos and how big we are on, getting that hamstring work in there. With this particular one, it's not only in the legs. We're really trying to get everything else set up for you. So when you're doing it, don't be afraid to let those shins creep forward and load more into the quads so you get the benefit of what Doc really is looking for here.
Yeah, so what I'm looking for here is even weight distribution. I have a lot of patients that come to me after major knee reconstructive surgery, whether it's ACL, PCL, meniscus, what have you, and it takes a long time, sometimes over a year, to really gain the trust to put the weight back in that leg. You'll see the same kind of a pattern where you know which knee they've had the injury on. You'll see the hip shift away from it during a squat and rise, even a year and a half, 2 years after a surgery. This is a great tool for that person with a little bit of that knee use apprehension. Put that bell on the lateral malleolus, the lateral ankle. That forces you a little bit more knee flexion than we really would do in a deadlift typically. And what you're looking for is symmetry. It's tempting to put all the weight onto the side that's holding the bell. And the challenge is to bring that weight back onto the non-weight bearing side and really pretend you're holding two bells. Here's a really terrible example of what you usually see people do. For efficiency's sake, they'll load this side, reach down, drive up, lean away. Very efficient repeat, like so. And you'll see a more subtle version when they're not disciplined with this, where the weight's just shifted slightly. And you'll see this knee on the backside break forward in front of the knee on the non-weight bearing side. So you can instruct the client or the patient to look right down and see those knees and track them, and that will regulate the pelvis alignment. And you can also just watch that for them. So here we are. I'd probably work this up in weight, just maybe one more series higher. I pretend I'm grabbing two handles, drive up, attempt to push my weight back into my left leg on the return. It's probably not perfect, but I'm trying.
So, there were some real golden nuggets in there, guys. I would highly recommend getting comfortable with this yourself and then being able to teach it to people to get them back moving, as you heard Doc saying, people with rehab, get them in that offset nature. We have some great stuff that we can show you guys in another video where we can take it into a strength training aspect, but making yourself as safe and sound as possible is a high part of strength training as well. If you guys want to see some ways that we plug this particular lift into some programming and whatnot, click on the link above and you'll see all that information.